Right, Mike, we're rolling. Good to meet. I'm going to sit here if that's all right. How are you doing again?
Also
good.
good.
All right.
So George,
Yeah.
what inspired you to start this?
So I wanted to feel free.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Did you not feel free before?
in some ways, no. So I thought rather than sit at home and worry about it, I'd go out and embody the feeling of being free.
Oh, I suppose freedom means lots of different things to lots of different people.
Yeah.
Freedom in this context seems really putting yourself in the spotlight.
A little bit, yeah, which took a little bit of getting used to, but I'm just trying to ignore the spotlight and just like I would if we met any other way, just have a conversation. So, what have you been doing today?
So this morning I have a routine where I go to the gym, then come back and do some bit of yoga and meditation, and then been trying to do some DIY.
Okay.
It's been going horribly wrong.
Okay, what have you been trying to do?
Well, just renovate my studio flat. It's really small, but
Yeah.
I have no tools, no knowledge of what I'm doing. So it's just been one disaster after the other, but it's been a great learning experience. So
What are you trying to do? Like shelves or?
well, redecorate. So this morning I spent 3 hours trying to change a doorknob because I didn't have the right things. And yesterday I was very proud of myself actually. I rehung a really heavy mirror with wrong screws and wrong equipment, but it got there in the end.
It's still up there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. It's good you're trying to do it yourself. I'm not that handsy, so it's
I really get why people pay other people
yeah.
with experience to do the thing they need to do.
Yeah. It's probably the easy way out though, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you're going to sit back after you've finished everything and think, I'm glad I did all of this.
Yeah. I suppose there's certain things you can't do that in, like heart surgery.
Yeah.
And chiropractor, you can't really, perhaps you could.
Well, you mentioned meditation and going to the gym, right? That's the preventative stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's preventative. It's developmental, I suppose. It's growth. I think yoga and meditation and mindfulness saved my life, to be honest.
In what way?
Well, when I was going through my late 30s, early 40s, I really struggled with not understanding my sexuality. I'm gay. Couldn't come to terms with it back then, and doing lots of physical abuse to myself.
Wow.
Physical self-harm and hi kids, and drugs and alcohol. And then I kind of connected to a kind of spirituality side of things, and it changed my life.
Wow. How is it something you always had an inkling of, or what was that like? Because that's quite late to realize that about yourself. Was it?
Yeah. I think just deep embedded refusal to accept. The kind of family household I grew up in was very unaccepting of change or difference. And then that kind of manifested in terms of being physically unwell and injuries and stuff. So it was very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think it's interesting, isn't it, that the more you look after yourself, then the more you understand yourself. So it's interesting those two things went like hand in hand.
Yeah.
With the meditation and the going to the gym and looking after yourself more.
So what would you say was the biggest moment for you in terms of understanding that?
That, not specifically the same, but...
In terms of looking after yourself?
Yeah. I was always very dismissive of like sport and going to the gym and things. I was always relatively fit and, looked healthy.
Yeah.
I think just getting a bit older has made me want to look after myself a lot more.
Okay.
That sort of realizing, you know, I'm not worried about getting old and dying, but just realizing that if I was to decide who I wanted to be in my 20s, am I that person in my 30s? No. So then it's like, okay, what am I going to wait till I'm 40 or 50 to make those changes? So it was more that getting older, I think. But
Okay. That's the kind of physical aspect of yourself.
yeah,
But what about the kind of spiritual, intellectual aspect of yourself? What's been the biggest kind of, oh, something needs to change a bit in terms of how I'm operating?
yeah, my relationship with my partner, her basically not putting up with me being childish and selfish anymore, that forced me to grow quite a lot. So just that, yeah, that was the biggest sort of external thing. And yeah, forced me to just grow up, take a more long-term approach to my life rather than, you know, just having fun in the next week, day, hour, and that. And when I say having fun, I mean video games, just relaxing at home, not doing things that I'm gonna see a good effect of in 5, 10 years. So,
Is that a problem?
in the sense of, in the sense of building my life in a way that have more freedom to do the things I want, and money's not the source of the happiness, but structuring my life in a way where I've got the means to do the things I want. So that's something I'm trying to do a lot more of now.
Okay.
Whereas before I was very quite frivolous with my time and my money. So in the short term, okay, but in the long term, there was a lack of growth, a lack of direction.
So you seem quite structured in gaming is fun, but you see that there's other things longer term that you might want to do that need resources. What are those things, and how did you? I mean, what's wrong with just gaming all of your life? What is it you aspire to have the money to resources to do stuff with?
Travel's one of them.
Okay.
Children is another. To be able to provide for
Yeah.
future children. I'd say those two things. Not traveling for the sake of it, but just having the ability to go. You know, it's that feeling of not having the means to have an adventure or an exciting life. And I don't just mean going out partying and drinking. I mean sort of experiencing things.
Yeah.
So not having the means to do that, I'm quite. I've got fed up with. So I'm trying to create that around myself.
So literally the concept of, not even concept, knowing you have the freedom to do what you want to do in terms of traveling is more important than actually going to, I don't know, Indonesia or some remote volcano. It's a concept of, so do you have places in mind, or is it just, I need to know that I have the freedom to,
Yeah, that more than anything. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know, there's two aspects to it. Well, there's the being happy with what you got and being content and not comparing, not wanting, not desiring all the time. And I imagine your meditation helps with that. But then there's the sort of, then there's the, you know, the desire to have something, to build something that I can pass on. So I think it's, you know, too much of the aspiration is bad, because then you're just measuring yourself against other people and, you know,
Yeah.
money and bank accounts. Too little of the aspiration and too much of the here and now and just being happy, you don't.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for me. Then I wouldn't grow or see a change or a direction in my life.
And I suppose children are the biggest kind of, I don't know what you call it, mechanism for exploring ourselves and change and passing on our future. What kind of dad do you think you would make?
What kind of dad? A great dad. I really do. I'm looking forward to having children.
Wow.
I play a lot. I'm very playful. Yeah, I think I'd be a great dad.
There's a gleam in your eye as you say that. So there's
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Do you mind if you sit down? It says feel free to sit.
You can. We are having a conversation, but you can feel free. We'll get back to it in a sec.
Do you want me to jump out?
I've seen you walk past a couple times. No, you can stay, please.
Okay.
I think we'll get back to it. I don't think. What's going on with you guys today? Yeah, I can imagine. What's the theme? What's the purpose? Huh? Okay. What's the brand called? Milo the mascot. Okay, nice. Yeah. All right, that sounds good. Okay. It's good fun, man. You look like you're having fun with it as well. Yeah. Have you got enough water?
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
To have a chat with us, man.
That's good.
No, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you're all right. Why not?
I really like this concept.
I'm not
Thank you. That's fine. No, I don't think the mic's going to even pick you up. So you're just a nodding bear on the camera. That's all right.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, it's been good. It's very nice. Have you got the QR code? Doesn't work, I'm afraid. I changed the website, but
That's funny on Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna get him to follow you on Instagram.
it's called feelfree.uk. If you find it now, feel free. No, feel free. If you search it, you find it. Feelfree.uk.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it on Instagram as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
I really like the concept.
It's a good. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, guys. All right. Take it easy, dude. Bye.
Sorry we interrupted you.
No, you're all right. It's part of the fun.
Have a good day, yeah? Namaste.
Instagram ticked.
Yeah. It's quite interesting sitting here because there's a lot of people that go past that have their own following, or I spoke to a couple earlier.
Yeah.
One's in mental health, the guy, and the lady was a singer. And I think there's something about this that attracts the people that might already be online in some way.
Oh, okay.
But it's not only that, there's been people such as yourself or other people who just sit down just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's a bit interesting having to manage the spontaneity of it. So
Do you ever feel like you're being used as a kind of just as a backdrop for a kind of?
There's been a couple bits of that. There was a bunch of about 10, 14-year-olds earlier who just piled in, started screaming, grabbing the mics and stuff. I just let them get on with it to a degree, and I think putting myself in public like I am, it's inviting that kind of situation. Yeah. So I'm trying to manage it rather than control it, if that makes sense.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
You mentioned playfulness many times. Well, a few times in different contexts. It seems quite important to you. Where does that come from?
I like playing games, and a lot of sort of development psychology experts, interviews I've listened to, they mention playing as a way that children learn. You see animals play fighting and they rough and tumble, they're training how to hunt. And I think humans, whether it's like physical activity, whether it's a sport, whether it's like an assault course or just swimming, or physical, or whether it's puzzles, learning to play games, like more puzzles and brain activities.
Yeah.
I think the more of that you experience as a child, the more potential you create for when you're an adult. So
Can I ask a follow-up question?
yeah, please.
What did you experience as a child in terms of that type of playfulness?
I've got a lot of brothers and sisters, so there was always a lot of playing. I did grow up playing a lot of video games, so that's carried through to adulthood. So it's a good example of like what you do as a child
Yeah.
kind of has a effect later on in life. So those things. Um,
Can you describe a few physical things, physical playfulness from when you were younger?
from when I was
What was it
younger,
like?
not anything out of the ordinary. Play fighting with my older and younger brother. I wasn't that sporty as a child. I did play a little bit of tennis, a little bit of rugby, but not to the degree that I think it actually helped me later on. I think that playfulness thing and the sort of the way I imagine being a dad has more come from like myself, I suppose. In a way, I suppose it's a bit of like my ideas, hopefully in a good way, but wanting to impose that on a child and seeing what happens. But
Impose that.
yeah, but in a good way, like not
Instill,
in a
gift.
instill exactly, instill. So it's more about like if I imagine a great dad or a great childhood, can I create that? So I think
Yeah.
I can. Obviously, there's two. There would be I've got a partner. There would be a mother. So it's not. I'm not thinking about it in terms of like, training a child to be a professional. This you must do that. It's more about having fun, I suppose.
I think you
Like-
would be a great dad.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
I think that combination of playfulness, but obviously one of the hardest aspects when I was growing up is that generation of your parents not actually listening to you,
Yeah.
but the concept of you're here doing something in public would suggest that you would also be there in terms of hearing your children, in terms of what they want
I think so.
want to say.
Thank you. I think so. Yeah. I work with children, and there is a lot of. I'd have to try very hard to be patient sometimes with their problems because I think teenagers have a lot of problems, and some of them, they don't. I just wonder the kind of environments they come from that they're getting these sorts of problems, and it's not to. It's, yeah, I think a lot of it is avoidable with good an environment, and not being a parent now, I know you can't control everything.
Yeah.
DNA, genes. One newborn might cry 10 hours a day, or one might be like. It's not all about the environment, but I just look forward to it. You're a dad?
No, I've never been a
Okay.
dad.
Ah. Okay.
I was kind of surrogate dad for a friend's son who left his wife, and I kind of moved in with his wife to support the child for about 5 years, which was one of the most rewarding experiences of.
How old was the
Of my
child
life.
when you started?
He was about 1 year old.
Okay, so a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it also made me realise that's not what I'm cut out to do in terms of forever stuff,
Yeah.
and the importance of actually, if you're going to have a child, you need to be there.
And that's a lot of what I was saying about creating a lifestyle where I've got the means to do things, because
Yeah.
it's all well and good wanting a child, but then what am I able to give that child? So that's part of.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things I've learned is that it's not about money, and it's not about holidays or gifts. It's the thing the child will always remember is the time you spend with them. You get home from work, you may be tired, but you're prepared to play, role play, and figures and everything else. They won't care about anything else.
Yeah.
It's that they remember the time you committed to them as another person, It's not about the kind of abstract things we value more as adults in terms of here's a gift, we're going on holiday or anything else.
Yeah,
It's the time together.
yeah, that rings true. Some of the best times I remember with my dad was when he was joining us playing video games, and not to focus on the video games, but like you're saying, the time there.
Yeah.
So, and not just that, going to his work, seeing what it was like at work,
Oh, okay.
things like that. So, what you're saying is definitely true. So yeah.
George.
All right. I was going to ask more questions for you. I wanted to know a bit more about your I wanted to know a bit more about your meditation, your sort of philosophy
You can
around
do
that.
if you wish.
I mean, feel free to leave whenever you like. I don't want to
okay.
keep you.
I'm slowly getting drunk on
That's
wine,
fine.
but that's okay.
Okay. We'll
But ask
see.
away.
What do you do to meditate?
So I follow a school of yoga called the Isha School of Meditation in India. So it's yoga, but it's mostly kind of breath work, and it's not kind of bendy type yoga. It's mostly meditation, breath work.
Just checking the mic was on. Just had the thought if it's
Oh,
on.
okay.
Don't worry, you're good.
Yeah, it's consuming in terms of time, but the benefits you get back from it are just so good. If I stick to the program and do my meditation, I never get depressed. I have moments of insight and just pure joy, which are impossible to translate and explain. Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
what's the school of thought? Isha.
Isha, it's a school. It's based on a guru called Sadhguru.
Okay.
He's not sad, but he has about 8 billion followers worldwide. Very practical. It's based on a school of yoga where you don't have to believe in anything. It's basically try these techniques. If you feel they have any value to you, then carry on following me.
Yeah.
If they don't, then just kind of leave.
Find something else. Yeah. Yeah.
And I found that really refreshing because every morning I wake up and I do or don't have to do it. But I know if I do the yoga, I'm going to feel much better later on in the day and the rest of the week.
So are there like positions that you get into and then focus on the breath work, or?
Yeah, there's the hatha yoga type stuff where it's much more bendy and it's kind of an exercise in itself. Then there's what's called Kriya Yoga, which is more energy-focused work, where you could just be kneeling in positions and doing breath work and stuff, which is also quite tiring as well. But
does that, for you, does that feed into like into a wider view of what humans are, what life is, or is it more just the physical looking after yourself?
Well, that's a good question. I used to think it was just a physical thing, and I took it up because I had a back problem and insufferable pain, which through injections and surgery and everything else couldn't really solve, and I kind of just got drawn into it because of that. And then kind of this wider aspect of spirituality, and I've had moments, I have to say, where I've realized there's a much deeper level of our concept of reality than it sounds really weird.
No,
but it's a bit like taking ketamine.
Okay.
You can have moments when you're doing yoga and meditation where you perceive things, a sense of things, which are just generally much deeper than the level of reality if you are just tying your shoelaces or painting a wall. There's something that's so difficult to explain, but so beautiful it brings you to tears.
That's good to know. I might give it a try.
What's been your biggest spiritual moment? Oh, let me take that back, because spiritual has a context. What's been your biggest consciousness shift?
So I don't. Not one comes to mind. I won't go into them, but I had a few experiences at university, playing with consciousness. I wouldn't say they had any profound impacts that are long lasting. No, I think I don't meditate. I think that's something I should do more. I've heard things similar from other people.
Yeah.
I can't. I get I'm more interested, and I spend my time listening to the more sort of intellectual, the history, geography, politics, sometimes psychology, and I probably spend more time like absorbing information than spending it just with myself. So I don't have a thing that I can point to and say I had a moment where it changed my outlook on life. I more have, when I read about the history of different cultures in India, I've read, I've heard India and breath work and Buddhism linked to that. Maybe it goes back like many thousands of years, and
Yeah.
when I learn or I read about these things, it makes me, or I question what are humans. I don't think we're just apes that evolved. I I don't I don't disbelieve evolution as a process, but I think that within humans and animals and within the universe, there's more than just physical, materialistic reality. I think there's more to it, and I came to that conclusion more by reading about ancient cultures and things. So,
But what does that any of that change about you in terms of it changes your worldview? Does any of it change you as a person or a sense of yourself? So that's what I'm getting at. That's all very. It's because the world is endless, isn't it? The
Yeah.
understanding of the world is endless. We
Yeah.
can spend millennia looking at the world and the history of the world, and we can become intellectually more acute and aware and understanding of the history of things, but that's on an intellectual basis. What's been the biggest thing that's changed you as a person in terms of it's affected your personality, I suppose, or your
Yeah.
life, rather than an understanding of the world. It's manifested into something actionable. Does that
a
make
couple
sense?
things come. Yeah, it does. A couple things come to mind. I won't go into them. Maybe off the camera, I can let you know a little bit. But no, I think what I'm thinking as you're asking that question is I should do more meditation or more just being with myself. I, at the moment, have a lot of podcasts on while I'm around the house or playing music.
Yeah.
And that's something I should do more of, is just be with myself more. I've had moments of that, but, quite minute moments. I remember many years ago, I meditated and just had a moment of sort of love, I suppose, appreciation for my dad. And then I just called him and we had a good conversation. Not anything out of the ordinary, the conversation, but I remember that as a moment of like just taking 5 minutes just to sit down and then seeing what comes out of it. So
The
something
idea
I
of
should
just
do more of.
being able to spend in counselling, we say the word should.
Okay.
Do a lot, comes up a lot, but that sounds like really powerful that you could spend just 5 minutes. Because most people, when you talk about meditation, it's oh god, yeah, it's such a labour. I kind of don't like the silence or anything else. But it sounds like you get in tune with it quite quickly. You then suddenly have thoughts and emotions that it generates in terms of actionable things as well. Like, oh, I'm going to phone my dad.
Yeah, maybe in that moment, that's one that sticks out. I'm gonna do it more and see what comes out of it. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the inspiration. I think that's good. Um, you mentioned counselling. Is that something you do, or is that something you do with other people, or is that something you've had?
Well, both. I had about 3-4 years of counselling when I was struggling to come to terms with lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But then more recently, I've just qualified as a counsellor, whatever that means. I'm not too sure of the value of it, but
yeah, counselling is not a term I hear that much at the moment. It's more like therapy, I suppose. But I don't. Is there a difference, or is there a...
Do you know, you could argue what we're doing now is counselling or therapy.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you'd be very good as a counsellor.
Thank you. It's not something I've thought about. I think this is one way to do it, so I think I can carry on with this and do it that way. A lot of people I've spoken to have gone through things and then they end up helping other people in the same way. So they might have had therapy or I spoke to a gentleman a week or two ago who had gone through quite a rough childhood and then ended up being involved in mental health to help people get through the same thing.
Yeah, I think you need to be careful. There's this thing where you want to rescue other people, or kind of stop them going through what you did.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they need to go through learning experience, and you're just there to.
Oh yeah, God.
I can't actually kick a ball. So for many years I completely avoided going into counselling because I knew I wasn't in the right frame of mind to do it. I was very self-centered and not really interested in other people's problems.
Yeah.
So just the experience of going through counselling has been useful, I think. But
good.
Yeah, something you should think about.
All right, I definitely will. I think I'll start with the meditation and then see where it goes from there.
Well, it doesn't have to be in line with each other.
No, that's true. Have you got a book you'd recommend I read?
A great starting book is not about meditation or anything else. It's called Awareness by Anthony DeMello.
Anthony
DeMello. He was a Jesuit priest who also was into meditation and created programs about self-awareness, which is the first point of inspiring me to...
What was it? Awareness, that's the name of it.
Yeah, awareness, literally that. Worth exploring.
Okay. Good.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, it was really... Remind me your name.
It's on the podcast.
Okay,
Come on.
I don't watch them back, so I'll never remember. Because I just wanted to say thank you for sitting down. Yeah, well, we'll leave it there.
Mike.
Mike. Yeah, Mike. It was really nice to meet you. Thanks for sitting down. I really enjoyed that.
I've learned so much. Thank you.
Yeah.